Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a fantastic day to dive deep into the absolute madness happening in Port Charles. We have so much to unpack regarding the latest twists, so grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's get right into it. The shadows of a darkened living room. A figure emerging from the pitch black, standing on his own 2 feet after months of forced, agonizing paralysis. The sheer, suffocating terror of realizing the monster you created is no longer trapped in his cage. The seismic shift in momentum is deafening, and the impossible choices facing everyone in Port Charles have never been more dangerous. Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and my brain is basically buzzing because the July 28th spoilers they are insane. Like, fundamentally changing the landscape of the show insane. Here's what's bugging me. Drew Cain. Drew freaking Cain. We had to talk about Drew walking into his darkened house and completely stunning Willow. I mean, imagine the absolute horror movie vibes of that scene. Willow is standing there, probably thinking she's got everything under control, and suddenly her husband, who she has been actively, maliciously paralyzing with Jen Sidwell's drugs, is just standing there. In the dark. It's weird. Like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird. Wait, let me back up. Because to really understand how terrifying this is, we have to remember what happened at the Quartermain. Nina literally shoved Drew's wheelchair into the water. Like, attempted murder. Straight up. And Gio Palmieri, sweet, innocent, summer lifeguard Gio, dove in and saved him. And now Gio is being interrogated by Nina and Jack Brennan down by the boathouse. Gio tells them that Drew insisted on going home after the traumatic lake ordeal. Which, okay, if you just nearly drowned, wouldn't you go to General Hospital? No. Wait, actually, if you're Drew Cain and you're a former Navy SEAL who has been faking the extent of your paralysis for days, you go home. You go home to trap your wife. I am so excited about what comes next. That is what Drew tells a terrified Willow in the preview. It doesn't sound like a husband happy to be healed. It sounds like a threat. He doesn't scream at her. He doesn't immediately call the cops to arrest her for drugging him. He whispers this incredibly menacing, almost gleeful threat. Because he has all the power now. Or maybe not. I don't know. Because Jack Brennan has the black box. Actually, no. First, I should mention how Brennan even got the box. Brennan and Nina are in for a massive shock when Gio tells them Drew went home instead of the hospital. But Brennan has the blackmail material now. He got the black box from Valentine Cassidy. Valentine traded it to get his WSB assets unfrozen, which is a whole other tangent I could go on about Valentine's priorities, but anyway, the point is. Wait, what was the point? Oh, right, the leverage. Brennan has proof of Drew's misappropriated federal funds. So Nina and Willow think they can use this to silence Drew. But then again, that doesn't explain why Drew is acting so incredibly confident in that dark living room. Does Drew even care about white-collar crimes when his wife literally tortured him with locked-in syndrome? I think it was episode 12? Or 13. Somewhere around there when Willow first started dosing him. You don't just forgive being trapped in your own body because of some financial blackmail. Drew might just fake compliance while secretly negotiating an immunity deal to testify against Willow and Sidwell. I mean, not exactly, but kind of. He could destroy her political career and her freedom in one move. Okay, I know I just said the opposite, but hear me out. Maybe Drew will play along for a minute just to mess with her psychologically. But let's shift gears because I am staying up way too late thinking about Jason. Jason is having these heartwarming reunions with Carly and Sunny. Carly hugs him, declaring she is so glad to have him back home where he belongs. Sunny is thrilled to see him free. It looks so sweet on the surface. But actually no, we need to look deeper at Jason's physical and mental state. Steve Burton literally lost weight to look emaciated for this return. Jason was in a WSB black site in Jakarta. He has severe PTSD. He is fundamentally broken right now. So Carly and Sunny are projecting this everything is back to normal fantasy onto him, but Jason is not the same guy who left. He took the fall for Rocco shooting Ross Cullum. He gave up his freedom for a teenager. And now that he's back, he wants out of the mob. He wants to put being a father to Danny first. Which makes total sense because Sam is dead and Danny only has Jason left. But Sunny? Sunny is going to lose his mind. Sunny is relying on Rick Lansing right now, which is a disaster waiting to happen. Jason hates Rick. Jason is going to look at Sunny's new organization and just walk away. And that is going to shatter Sunny. Carly is hugging him, thinking her best friend is back to fix everything, but Jason's eyes are probably a million miles away. He sat on that plane having nightmares, and now he's thrust back into the Port Charles mob dynamic. It's basically a recipe for a total psychological collapse. Speaking of the shooting, Rocco Falconeri is uneasy. The spoilers say he's not convinced the shooting drama is really over. And he shouldn't be. Anna Devane is back as police commissioner. She is digging into the missing files from Pier 55. Laura Collins covered it up to protect Rocco, but Anna is a bloodhound. Rocco knows he pulled that trigger. The guilt is eating this kid alive. He sees Jason walking around, looking like a ghost, knowing Jason suffered in a black site because of him. Probably doesn't matter, but I noticed Rocco has been isolating himself from Danny and Charlotte lately. It's a ticking time bomb. If Anna keeps pushing, and with her hallucinating Peter August and acting all rogue and ruthless, she might just uncover the truth and destroy the Falconeri family. Or maybe not. I don't know. Laura is pretty smart at hiding things. And speaking of the WSB and ticking time bombs, we have to talk about Josslyn Jax. Josslyn is sitting down for a conversation with Trina Robinson and Emma Scorpio Drake. Emma is grilling Josslyn with a million questions because Josslyn's WSB status has gone public. Which, by the way, how did it go public? Did someone leak it? Anyway, Emma is Anna's granddaughter. She has that Scorpio interrogation gene. She is wondering why on earth Josslyn would want this kind of life for her. And Josslyn defends her chosen career path. But why? Like, basically, Josslyn has been through so much trauma, maybe she thinks the WSB gives her control. Sort of like how Carly tries to control everything, Josslyn is doing it with a badge. Or maybe she's just addicted to the adrenaline. Trina is just sitting there, probably exhausted, because she's dealing with her own stalker drama and the music showcase fallout. Trina is trying to distance herself from drama, and here is Josslyn diving headfirst into international espionage. The contrast is wild. Emma sees the WSB for what it is, a dangerous, soul-crushing machine. She knows what it did to her grandmother, Anna. So seeing Josslyn willingly sign up for it, Emma is probably horrified. Josslyn thinks she's untouchable because Z likes her, but the WSB chews people up and spits them out. Look at what they did to Jason. Speaking of wild contrasts, let's look at Michael Corinthos. Michael is behaving in a way that completely puzzles Jacinda Bracken. Jacinda is his new girlfriend, right? Because he and Willow are divorced? Michael just bought Maxie's shares of deception. He is flexing his power. He's acting like a ruthless corporate raider. Jacinda is looking at him like, who is this guy? Michael is hoarding power because he wants to crush Willow and take full custody of the kids. He is playing a massive, cold-blooded long game. Jacinda is probably going to go rogue on a Willow-related plot because she feels insecure. She wants to push Willow out of Michael's life completely, but she doesn't understand the complex, toxic web that Michael and Willow are tangled in. Jacinda is going to create massive problems for her. She's out of her depth. Michael is turning into this hybrid of AJ Quartermain and Sonny Corinthos, using corporate boardrooms instead of shipping docs, but the ruthlessness is exactly the same. Okay, wait. I need to pivot to the hospital drama before I lose my train of thought entirely. Marshall Ashford is making a GH comeback. He shows back up in town and heads to Portia's place. Portia just had baby Desmond Ashford. Marshall acknowledges that Portia looks radiant, even though she is exhausted from dealing with a newborn. It's a really sweet family moment. He gets to meet his new grandson. But here's the part that is completely scrambling my brain. Isaiah Gannon is there with Portia when Marshall arrives. Isaiah, the guy who is actively suing Curtis Ashford for assault. Why is he just casually hanging out with Portia? I know they are dating, but the dynamics are so messy. Curtis is facing prison time because of Isaiah, and Portia is just caught in the middle? Or maybe she's taking Isaiah's side. It's weird. Like, really weird. The whole Ashford family dynamic is fracturing, and Marshall walking into the middle of it is going to force some serious conversation. Wait, let me go back to Drew and Willow for a second because my brain just connected something. If Michael is playing a long game for custody, and Drew is plotting revenge against Willow, are Michael and Drew going to team up? I mean, they both have a massive axe to grind with Willow right now. Michael wants the kids. Drew wants payback for being paralyzed. If Drew goes to Michael and says, hey, Willow has been drugging me with Sidwell's paralytics, Michael would have the ultimate ammunition for family court. But then again, Drew hates Michael too. So maybe not. It's just The potential for alliances right now is staggering. And what about Brennan? Brennan is playing Nina and Willow, handing them this black box leverage, but Brennan is WSB. He always has an ulterior motive. He's getting romantically entangled with Nina, which is clouding his judgment, but he's still a shark. If Brennan realizes Drew is fully mobile and dangerous, he might just cut his losses and leave Nina and Willow to face Drew's wrath alone. I just keep picturing Drew in that dark house. Steve Burton's return is getting all the hype, but Cameron Matheson playing a dark, vengeful, locked-in survivor is honestly the storyline of the summer. The psychological torture Willow put him through. You don't just walk away from that. You burn the house down. Literally or metaphorically. I don't know, I'm probably overthinking all. But the pieces are moving so fast. Jason is back but broken. Drew is healed but vengeful. Josslyn is a public spy. Michael is a corporate villain. And Rocco is a teenage boy carrying a murder scene. Port Charles is an absolute powder keg right now, and all it takes is one wrong move, one slip secret, one failed blackmail attempt for the whole town to explode. I mean, think about it. If Anna finds the Pier 55 files, Rocco goes down, Laura goes down for covering it up, and Jason's sacrifice was for nothing. If Drew goes to the cops, Willow goes to prison, Nina goes to prison for attempted murder at the lake, and Michael gets the kids. Everything is resting on a knife's edge. Will Drew's vengeance destroy Port Charles, or can Brennan's leverage stop him? Share your wildest theories in the comments below, and subscribe for more deep dives.